Clarity Act passes, market reaction. So everybody knows that President Trump has been going off on banks working together with the cryptocurrency lobbyist groups to make sure that there is a Clarity Act passed. And it seemed like at first people were saying that the White House was trying to take the side of the banks and saying, listen, you can't compete with the bank, fractional reserve lending, they need it. That's how people get mortgages, etc. But now people are saying that it looks like there was a meeting with Brian Armstrong, the head of CEO, the one that first raised the alarm with regards to the Clarity Act in January before the markup. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and sharing and caring, all that stuff. And he's taking the side of the cryptocurrency companies that want to be able to give yields to their consumers. So a funny thing about the yield situation is that if they were to outlaw yields, Coinbase would actually make more money on paper. So it's interesting that Brian Armstrong is the person that's fighting against this, because he's basically saying we want to give some of these rewards to people. We don't want to just keep it to ourselves. Maybe he's being altruistic, kind of like Sam Bankman-Fried was like, whatever altruism bullshit that he was fucking spitting. I don't even remember what it was, but it looks like there is going to be a Clarity Act passed. As soon as President Trump made those tweets yesterday or posts on Truth Social, the cryptocurrency market pumped like crazy. And he was at a press conference today, again, saying that we need to be the world capital for cryptocurrency. He has a point. In my opinion, he's playing this really smart. He basically waited for March 1st, the whole month of February, after the State of the Union, because remember, the average American doesn't really give a fuck about crypto. They say 50 to 3 million Americans own crypto, but you have to understand that like a lot of the motherfuckers own like $10 of Dogecoin that they have from a wallet that they forgot that they even have or exist. So he knows that this is the time to get things passed, because we're already in March, and it looks like if we don't get anything done by June-ish time frame, people are going to be focused more on re-election. And I think that a lot of the Democrats in those swing districts where Trump isn't, approval rating is not doing very well right now. Let's be honest. I'm a Trump supporter, but he's not doing very well. They might use this as a way to basically say, listen, I'm sticking it to Trump and his family because they own a cryptocurrency company, and yeah, vote for me. And we have a slim majority in the U.S. House. The Republicans, generally speaking, you have people on both sides. You have the Richie Torreses of the world, the Democrats, like in the Bronx, the district that I live in. I'm doxing myself, kind of. But you have, generally speaking, more Republicans support cryptocurrency legislation, the Market Clarity Act, in the Senate and the U.S. House than Democrats. It is what it is. That being said, as we get closer to midterms, a lot of Democrats are going to use this to try to fuck Trump and his family, and just for cheap political votes, because at the end of the day, this benefits America long term. Remember, I don't want to sound too political, but generally speaking, it almost seems like the Republicans care about Americans and the Democrats, in generalization, I'm not saying, again, Richie Torres is a Democrat, he loves cryptocurrency policy. There's Republicans that hate cryptocurrency and don't understand it. But generally speaking, it seems at the national level, because I work with Democrats and Republicans at the state level, at the national level, it seems like a lot of the people care more about hurting President Trump and him keeping Congress than they care about American peoples in the medium to long term. Because a lot of this cryptocurrency policy then take effect, rolled out effectively in years to come. It's not like the moment that it gets passed that everything magically gets better and the cryptocurrencies pump. Although I personally do believe that they will pump. And that's another thing about the past few days. You have to understand that not everything is pumping. Only good projects. I keep telling people this. I've told people this personally. Like, I don't give financial advice. Do your own research. Position yourself if you want to get the best upside. And once we get the Clarity Act, you know, an investor, you don't think about like short term. That's the lottery ticket. Look, I'm going to get rich if I invest. I'm going to get rich in 2 days if I invest $5 in you know, the new Shiba Inu 2026 token. But actual proper investors, look at the projects that have activity on chain. Again, ADA has zero activity. It has like 800 people. That's nothing when you have like millions of people doing things on Ethereum and Solana and other really great projects, in my opinion. Actually, this fact. The good thing about the blockchain, it doesn't lie. And we're going to start to see a lot more integration with AI as well. I'm talking to people that are in the AI space, and they're saying the same thing, that listen, AI and cryptocurrency, that's the next evolution. So if you have a cryptocurrency like ICP, which again, full disclosure, I work with people that love ICP. I own a little bit of ICP, but not like a life-changing amount. This is a project that is integrating a lot of AI on the blockchain. You can do things like on it, where I know that if you want to create certain NFT projects that or ordinals, right, that might take you like 0.01 Bitcoin. If you do it on ICP, it'll be basically free. So work on these projects, or focus on the projects to position yourself in that are going to do well when things turn around. And I personally believe we were never in a bear market. I think that this was just like a normal pullback, 50% pullback, and people were scared because the Clarity Act theater is going to get passed. It's not going to get passed. But at the end of the day, it's going to get passed. And we know this because at the end of the day, short term, they have to pass it politically. Maybe medium to long term, some Democrats again might be like, oh, I don't know if we want to pass it because we don't hurt Trump. But it's going to help the economy. What happened? Oh, no, I live in New York City, so this is, I like to go live like this, and there's just sirens in the background. But yeah, so the Clarity Act is going to pass. And I just want to say that notice what happened like the past 24 hours. Pumping. Imagine if we have a situation where the markup is basically put in, like, okay, we're gonna have the markup in 3 weeks from now, and we have decided that there's, the crypto lobby has come together with the banking lobby. They meet a middle ground. They get set, ready. 2 weeks from now, okay, great. After the markups, reconciliation. After reconciliation between the Agriculture Committee version of the Clarity Act and the Banking Committee's version of the Clarity Act, now we see reconciliation. Basically, they have one bill, markup, vote, and we remember what happened last summer with the Genius Act. It was like blah, blah, blah. One stand with crypto went over there, man, and told these Democrats, man, listen, we are going to fucking primary you or get you out of there in 2026 if you don't vote for the Genius Act. Fast as fuck, right? Senate, House, Crypto Week, President Trump's desk. Same thing with Epstein. I hate always fucking saying this, but Epstein. The Senate unanimously passed to release the Epstein files the same day as they sent it to the House later on, and they passed it fast. So when these people want to move fast, they move fast. I was telling somebody yesterday that Congress moves really slow. Most bills die in committee. The fact that the Genius Act moved that fast was fucking crazy. 6 months after President Trump got inaugurated. So don't worry, the Clarity Act is coming on its own timeline. This is the perfect timeline for it to happen right before the midterm elections get heated, because Texas already had their first round of primaries. They're going to have their second round, blah, 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 blah. By the way, good stuff with Texas. They got rid of a lot of people that were anti-crypto. I mean, it's a crypto capital of America at this point. But yes, with that being said, I'm going to head out. Enjoy your Wednesday hump day. Bye-bye.